Okay, good evening, everyone. So before we start our lessons, let's pay homage to the Buddha. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Okay, today lesson number 20. I think many of you may worry that we cannot finish the lessons before the exam. But don't worry, actually I already talked about it in the chat group. Don't worry about the exam. So we're trying to finish our lessons before the exam. So exam will be around December 25, December 22 to 25. So as I very often told you that exam is just a tool to study teachings of the Buddha in a serious manner. So by taking the exam, and you are seriously learning teachings of the Buddha. So the main purpose should be applying teachings of the Buddha in your daily life. So then only the part you will fulfill the purpose. So otherwise, without applying, without practicing teachings of the Buddha in your daily life, even though you spend a lot of time for attending classes, reading, listening, it will not help you. So if you can practice teachings of the Buddha, one teachings of the Buddha, one aspect of teachings of the Buddha, then you will get it. So this is the main purpose. We are studying Abhidhamma. Actually, even though we use the word Abhidhamma, actually we are learning Abhidhamma as well as Sutta Pitaka. So we are learning all together. So you may know that I quote some other suttas. And also future also, I will quote some other suttas. So in that way, so we are learning not just Abhidhamma, so we are learning and Sutta Pitaka as well. And today we will learn a very important sutta. So to talk about the difference between Abhidhamma and Sutta Pitaka. Okay. So we just finished 81 supramundane chaitas, Lokiya chaitas. Now we are going to study Lokottara chaitas, supramundane chaitas, supramundane chaitas. So before that, I want to talk about three types of abandoning defilements. So there are three types of abandonment or the defilements. So the first one is called momentary abandoning or defilements. So you trying to abandon defilements in your mind momentarily. But here also we can use hindrances. Instead of defilements, you can also use the word hindrances, the same. So momentary abandoning of defilements. So by way of dana, sila, and maintain samadhi and panya. So here, you try to abandon defilements in your mind when you are doing dana. So when you're practicing, when you are giving away with a generosity, generous mind, the moment you are keeping precept, the moment you are maintaining immoral conduct, and also the moment you are practicing samadhi and panya, which is the maintained one, which is a sensory level. So here, the moment you do dharana, you keep precept and you practice samadhi and panya, so you abandon defilements momentarily. So this is the one type. Now we are learning the Dhamma. So in this moment, you abandon defilements in your mind momentarily, temporarily. So actually, this is the moment we abandon. Actually, not continuously. Of course, not continuously. So little by little. So moment by moment. So that is called momentary abandoning all defilements. Second one is suppressing all defilements. You trying to suppress defilements for a long time. So that is by way of jhana samadhi. The moment you attain jhanas, so at that moment there's no defilements in your mind. So there is no hindrances in your mind. So at that particular moment you suppress defilements. So the defilements and hindrances do not have a chance to come in. So that is called suppressing all defilements, Vaikampana Bahana. So this is a stronger one. So the last one is called complete eradication of defilements. So by way of path and fruition, so Magga and Phala. So actually the Magga and Phala are supra-mundane consciousness or Lokottara Chaitas. So if you attain path and fruition in your mind, you eradicate all the defilements once and for all. So that is called complete eradication of defilements in your mind. So actually, we have learned sense-sphere consciousness, and we also have learned fine material and immaterial consciousness. So they are the first and second. How to say that momentary abandoning of defilements by way of doing dharana, keeping precept, and practicing samadhi and panya in sensory level. But the moment you attain jhanas, so you try to suppress defilements for a long time. Suppose if you attain jhana for one hour, within 1 hour there's no defilements, no hindrances in your mind. So for that reason, it's called suppression of defilements. But when you attain Magga and Phala, you completely abandon all type of defilements and hindrances. So that's called Samocheda Bahana. Samocheda means trying to cut cutting, you know. If you cut a tree, so the tree cannot thrive. Actually, no. When the sodas give the, how do you say, when you cut some trees, of course the tree spring have some small one, but in the sodas and Vinaya Pitaka, so such one is giving the example of palm tree, you know. When you cut the palm tree, the tree cannot thrive. It totally cut off. Not all the trees, you know. This is just example, So here, we are going to learn Magga and Phala. So Magga and Phala are Lokottara Chaita, and supra-mundane consciousness. So here, I want to talk about liberation of the mind. So here, what is liberation? Normally we talk about liberation and deliverance, freedom in Buddhism, which are very beautiful. So now, before we talk about Lokottara citta, I want to talk about liberation of the mind. Insight wisdom. So that is vipassana. Insight wisdom, supported by serenity. Here, the insight wisdom must be supported by serenity or samatha. So here, normally we use the word samatha or samadhi or jhana. They are the same. They are the same. Samatha is translated as a serenity, sometimes tranquility, sometimes as a calm. So any translation you can, wherever you meet any translation, doesn't matter. They are samatha or samadhi or jhana. So insight wisdom supported by serenity or samatha, where anybody want to see the mental and material phenomena in their true natures. In their true natures. So that means to know the true nature of mental and physical phenomena, you have to practice insight meditation. So that insight meditation must be supported by samatha. So here, in their true nature, hear me, impermanence, nature, suffering, dukkha, non-self, anatta. Actually, there are many books and many articles that talk about impermanence, suffering, and non-self, and you can Google online. So today we'll talk about it. Especially we'll talk about impermanence. So if you understand the word impermanence, you understand the rest. According to Four Noble Truths, suffering hear me. So 5 aggregate or mind and body are impermanent, always changing, always changing. Because of that, suffering. Normal people, you do not see such type of suffering. Actually, the mind and body are always changing. Because of that, it has the nature of suffering. Then because of these two characteristics, non-self. You don't have ability to control the way you want to be, the way you want to be. It's called non-self. So here, if you practice insight meditation, so you will see the real nature of mental and physical phenomena, nama rupa. So your insight wisdom must be supported with serenity or samatha. So in the deepest level of samadhi or deepest level of samatha, you will see that things are changing so quickly that we cannot hold on to anything. Normally, your body, when you have a deeper level of concentrations, when you look at your body, they're changing. Earlier, you think that this is your body, permanent, not changing. But when you attain a deeper level of samadhi, then you will see that all the particles in your body, the whole body is composed of millions and billions of particles. They are changing. So their changes are so quickly that you cannot hold this my body. You cannot hold on to anything. The mind changing. I think that many of you know that science, they accept that the particles in your body, the cells in your body is always changing and replacing with the new one. It is so difficult to know. It is so difficult to know about their changes. even a physical one, let alone a mental phenomena, let alone the mind. So when you have a deep samadhi, so you were able to see that things are changing so quickly that you cannot hold on to anything. If you hold one thing, it disappears. Then you hold another one, it disappears. It's impermanent. You yourself will know it. What I'm talking is just in theory. But when you have a deeper level of concentration, samadhi, you yourself will know it. So eventually, the mind naturally let go of clinging to all phenomena. So here, all phenomena mean mind and body. You think that this is my body. Deeper level of concentrations, all the particles in your body are changing. Changing means arises and disappear, arises and disappear. Then you try to hold one thing, it disappears. You hold another one, it disappears. The changes are so quickly that you cannot hold. This is mine. So later, your mind naturally let go of anything. Here, let go here means you do not have attachment to your body. You do not have attachment to your mind. Because you cannot hold, this is my mind, this is my body. No, everything's changing with a rapid speed. So naturally, the mind will let go of everything. Let go of the mind, let go of the body. No longer attachment to the body. Non-clinging brings forth liberation of the mind. Liberation of the mind from the things. But here, you no longer have attachment to the five aggregate. No longer have attachment to your mind and body. So that will bring forth liberation of the mind. Your mind is liberated from the things. The things here mean asava. Asava. So here we have three types of asava. The things of sensory desire. Earlier you do not know that everything is changing. Because of that you attach to sensual pleasures. Things that you see, things that you hear. So you have a sensory desire. So when you know that all these mental and physical phenomena are changing, you no longer have attachment to them. So being no attachment, your mind is liberated from sensory desire. So liberated from sensory desire here means you no longer have a sensory desire. No attachment to the thing that you see. No attachment to the sound. No attachment to taste. No attachment to smell. No attachment to only touch. So non-clinging will bring the liberation of the mind. Your mind is liberated from sensory desire. And also you no longer attachment to this life, existence. So we have a three type of existence. Sensory, sense-sphere existence, Kamaloka, and five material sphere consciousness, sphere existence, Rupaloka, and immaterial sphere existence, Arupaloka. So you no longer have attachment to any world, any existence. So that is called the things of existence. Because as far as we do not have deep concentrations, so then we do not see the real nature of our mind and body, the real nature of everything, nature to connect. So we don't have the inside wisdom. Because of that, we attach to many things. Sensory senses, sensory desire, we have a clinging to existence, and also we have the things of ignorance. Ignorant here means not knowing the truth. Ignorant means not knowing Four Noble Truths. We do not know suffering. We do not know the cause of suffering, cessation of suffering, and the path that lead to cessation of suffering. Not knowing Four Noble Truths is called ignorance. So these are four things that are permeated in our mind during the long stretch of samsara. So they are just like a just like a very smell which is permeated in any body. So you cannot clear all these strong smell. So when you do no longer have clinging to other sensual pleasures, clinging to existence, then it brings forth wisdom, inside wisdom. So if you have an inside wisdom, you no longer have ignorance. So your mind is liberated from the things. So these things are the original suffering. The Buddha attained enlightenment by removing the things. The Buddha attained liberation of the mind from the things. So then he attained enlightenment. Anyone who attained enlightenment, also their mind is liberated from the things. So for that reason, the Buddha said there's only one liberation in Buddhism. Only one liberation. The taste of liberation, only one. So you attain enlightenment, then you experience the taste of liberation. And the Buddha attained enlightenment, and the Buddha experienced the bliss of liberation. The taste is only one liberation, or only one taste. The taste of liberation in Buddhism. So in that way, one attains unconditioned happiness. Unconditioned happiness. So when your mind is liberated from the things, so your happiness is unconditioned. So whoever you see, your happiness is not change. Even though you hear unpleasant song, so those unpleasant songs will not change your happiness. Wherever you eat, so those food will not destroy your happiness. And the smell, then the experience with the body. So that means unconditional happiness here means wherever you see, wherever you hear, etc., your happiness is unchanging. So you will have unconditional happiness. Any moment, anywhere, you will have unconditional happiness. Even though you see unpleasant people, even though you deal with unpleasant people, your happiness is not destroyed. That's called unconditional happiness. Asingata Nibbana. That is how you attain Magga and Phala, supramundane consciousness. Then here, I want to talk about the difference between so actually I want to quote what the Ajahn say. I think many of you know that Ajahn is one of the famous meditation master from Thailand. Actually, when I talk about Nibbana, I always quote this, what he said, because this is very beautiful, very beautiful. Ajahn said that if you let go a little, you will have a little happiness. If you can let go your mind, your body, then you will have a little happiness, right? If you let go a lot, you will have a lot of happiness. But here, let go here means non-clinging. Normally we have a lot of clinging to what we hear. So when you hear unpleasant sound, your mind cling to that. You cannot let go. Then feel angry, have a resentment in your mind. When you see a pleasant one, then you cannot let go. You try to take it with the lobha. When you experience unpleasant one, you try to reject with dosa. So with the lobha, you will embrace it. With the dosa, you will reject it. So this is our second nature. So this is our unconscious mind. So based on our unconscious mind, we're trying to take it, clean it. We're trying to reject it, put it away. So for that reason, so when we see unpleasant people, then our mind trying to push. I don't want to see them like this. For enlightened people, like a Buddha, so they don't distinguish pleasant or unpleasant. So their mind is not, how to say, not affected because they do not have a clinging. But here, if you let go a little, you will have a little happiness. If you let go a lot, you have a lot of happiness. If you let go completely, you will be completely happy. So here, complete happiness is nothing but nibbana. So if you do not have lobha, dosa, moha in your mind, wherever you see, wherever you hear, so those things will not change your happiness because you attain complete happiness, because you completely let go, non-attachment to anything. So here, attachment here me, non-clinging here me, not only with the lobha, but also with the dosa. When you see unpleasant people, we cling to that unpleasant people with the dosa. So for that reason, we call it patika patika sanyojana, the factor of aversion. So we cling to unpleasant people with aversion. So when you see pleasant people, then you trying to attach, clinging to that with the lobha. So you have lobha and dosa because your lobha and dosa are rooted in delusion, moha. So if you completely uproot all these lobha, dosa, and moha, then you no longer have attachment. You no longer have clinging to them, clinging to anything. Your mind will be liberated. So you will have liberation of the mind. But here we have two type of liberation. So one is liberation of the mind, just liberation of the mind. So that is nothing but concentration. So when you have concentration, when you are practicing meditation, then your mind is liberated from negative mental state. Negative mental state, especially the moment you attain jhana. Your mind is concentrated on the one meditation object. At that particular moment, your mind is liberated from hindrances. So you feel the bliss of jhana. You feel the bliss of concentration. Only when you are sitting, or when you are in jhana, when you are in samadhi. So when you come out from samadhi or jhana, your mind is not liberated. As usual, you will have a lobha, you have a dosa, you will have a hindrances in your mind. But here, another liberation of the mind by wisdom. So the wisdom here is nothing but insight meditation. So when you practice insight meditation, you see that your body, your mind, everything is subject to changing. subject to impermanence. So with that wisdom, you no longer have attachment or clinging to your body, to your mind, to everything outside. So in that way, you have a wisdom. Because of that wisdom, your mind is liberated from lobha, dosa, moha. So if you have such type of wisdom, liberation or the mind by wisdom, in any circumstances, in any occasions, wherever you are, whenever you are, whenever you deal with, whoever you deal with, then your mind will be liberated. Your mind is not affected. Then such type of liberation is a real liberation, unconditioned liberation. So now we are going to talk about unconditioned liberation, which is Lokottara Chaita, supramundane Chaitas. Okay, so this is the introduction. So any question up to now? Introduction to Lokottara Chaita. Your samadhi, your jhana, in that moment, you will have liberation of the mind. Your mind is liberated from hindrances. You will experience the bliss in your mind. When you come out from jhana and samadhi, as usual. But here, when you attain liberation of the mind by wisdom, wherever you are doing, any moment, any time, anywhere, then you will have liberation. Liberation from defilements. To make very simple, liberation from lobha, dosa, moha. So in that way, your happiness will be unconditioned. Your happiness will be without condition. Any moment you are happy. Mr. Agus.
Namaste, Bhante.
Okay.
What is the relationship with Citta Vimutti and Visuddhi, Citta Visuddhi, Bhante?
Citta Vimutti and
Citta Vimutti and Citta Visuddhi.
Actually, they are the same. Citta and Citta, they are the same. But of course, in Abhidhamma, Citta's consciousness, Citta, Cittasika, mean the fact. Actually, they are the same. So when we are talking about the stages of 7 stages of purification, so we have a Citta Vimutti. So in that level, your concentration is so strong that so your mind is very clear. You clearly see you clearly see the nature of nama rupa. You see this is nama, this is a rupa. So your mind is very clear at that moment. It's called Citta Vimutti. Sorry, Citta Visuddhi. Okay.
Okay, thank you, Bhante.
Somebody asks, Panya Vimutti, it's similar to Nibbana. Actually, liberation of the mind by wisdom. So this is it arises the moment you experience the bliss of Nibbana. Actually here, the Nibbana is happiness. Actually, you must understand this one. Nibbana is happiness. So Nibbana can be attained if you do not have any lobha, dosa, moha. So if there's no lobha dosa moha in your mind, then you experience the bliss of Nibbana. So we have a lot of happiness in our mind because of defilements, because of lobha dosa moha. If there's no lobha dosa moha in our mind, then happiness and conditioned happiness arises naturally. So Nibbana is an object that we experience with the mind. If our mind is free from lobha dosa moha, then our mind experience Nibbana. So here, the liberation of the mind by wisdom, similar to the Nibbana. Our mind is liberated. So that means our mind is experiencing the bliss of Nibbana happiness. Okay. If no question, let's continue. Now we are talking about 8 Lokottara Chaitas. 8 Lokottara Chaitas. In English, we call it supramundane consciousness. Lokottara Chaitas is translated as a supramundane consciousness. So they are far more higher than the mundane Chaitas. They are far more higher than jhana Chaitas. As I earlier said that jhana Chaitas has conditions. So when you are in jhana, you will experience the bliss of jhana. So when you fall down from jhana, then anger came in, irritation came in your mind. So your happiness is gone. If you can sit down and only all the conditions are met, then you will experience the bliss of jhana. It has a lot of conditions. So when you attain jhana, the first jhana in the room, somebody came in, make a lot of noise, then you fall down from the jhana. A lot of conditions. So you experience the bliss or happiness only during in jhana. But here, when you attain supramundane consciousness, any moment, anywhere, even unpleasant people, nasty people are making a lot of irritation to you, your happiness will not be destroyed. So for that reason, so Lokottara Chaitas are far more higher than mundane Chaitas. So these Chaitas transcend 3 worlds. 3 worlds. Here, 3 worlds here mean sense sphere, Kama Loka, 5 material sphere, Rupa Loka, and immaterial sphere, Kama, Rupa, Arupa Loka. In other words, Loka here means it transcends, Lokottara Chaita transcends 5 aggregate. So you no longer have attachment to the 5 aggregate. They transcend 5 aggregate. For that reason, they are called Lokottara. So therefore, some scholars, they use these Chaitas as a transcendental consciousness. Transcendental consciousness. Wherever translation you use, it is Lokottara Chaita. Supramundane consciousness, transcendental consciousness. They're the same. They're the same. So we have a 8 type of Lokottara Chaita. And then 4 type of path consciousness. 4 type of path consciousness or Magga Chaita. So path consciousness of stream entry, Sotapaddi Magga Chaita, and path consciousness of one's returning, Sakadagami Magga Chaita, and path consciousness of non-returning, Nagami Makacheta, and path consciousness of Aranship, Arahata Makacheta. So in later part, I will explain in detail. For the time being, you just take note only with the 4 type of path, Makacheta, path consciousness. Sotapati Makacheta, Sakadagami Makacheta, Anagami Makacheta, and Arahata Makacheta. So these are the path. If you walk on the path, you will have result. You will have a fruition. So that is called 4 type of fruition consciousness. Fruition consciousness. In other words, these are the result. So when you attain 4 Makachetas, you will attain the Phalachetas, or 4 type of fruition consciousness. So the first one is the fruition consciousness of stream entry. So according to Abhidhamma, after you attain the path consciousness of stream entry, right away you will attain the fruition consciousness of stream entry. It's called Sotapati Phalacheta. Magga is the cause and the phala is the result. In Abhidhamma, we will learn that Magga is whole sanchetas. Phala is resultant cheta. The second one is the fruition consciousness of one's returning. And third one, the fruition consciousness of non-returning. And the fruition consciousness of arahantship. So these are 8 Lokuttara cheta. Later we'll go one by one. So 4 Magga chetas are wholesome chetas, or the cause. As a result, you will have a fruition of the result. Phalacheta. So based on that, so you will hear a lot. 8 noble individuals. 8 noble individuals. Atta Ariya Pokala. Actually, in the quality of the Sangha, Chattari Purisa Yugani Atta Purisa Pokala. Atta Purisa Pokala. 4 pair of noble individuals, altogether 8 noble individuals. So we had 4 pairs. Altogether it became 8 noble individuals. So the first one is one who has entered upon the path. Enter upon the path. Yeah, the path here means Magga. To the realization of the fruit of stream entry. Sotapati Magga. But here, the Magga, the path. The one who is on the way, on the path to realization of the fruit of stream entry. So that is a Sotapati Magga cheta. The second one is stream enter. So that is a Sotapati Phalacheta. According to Abhidhamma, only you attain stream entry, then you will be Sotapanna. So we are always saying that Sotapanna. So that means the one who attains the fruition consciousness of stream entry. Then second, this is one pair. As a result of the path, if someone is on the path, right away he will attain stream entry. So that will be fruition consciousness. That will be one pair. Another one is one who has entered upon the path to the realization of the fruit of one's return. Actually, I write according to the usage, but here is the one. If the person is on the path to attain the fruition the fruit of one's return, you will be called Sakatagami. Sakatagami. So this will be Sakatagami Makacheta. On the path. Maka. Then if he attained the fruit of one's return, we'll call one's returner. So in this level, Sakatagami Falacheta. So 3 and 4 also one pair. Another one is the one who has entered upon the path to the realization of the fruit of non-return. So this is a Nagami Makacheta. Non-returner, Anagami Falacheta. This is one pair. Another one is one who has entered upon the path to the realization of the fruit of arahantship. So this is a Arahata Magga, then the Arahant. So someone became Arahant by attaining Arahata Falacheta. So in that way, we have a 4 pair of noble individuals. It became 8 noble individuals. Okay. Supramundane consciousness or Lokottara Chetas consists of 2 stages of consciousness. Number 1, 4-part Chetas. It's called Magga Chetas. So that function, so the Magga Cheta function, the eradication of factors, Sanyojana, or permanently attenuation of factors. It functions, two functions. So it will remove factors or defilements, one function. Another one is it will attenuate. It will make lesser defilements. It will make lesser factors. But here, normally we use the word defilements. But in the suttas, normally it is explained by way of Sanyojana, by way of factors. So actually we use that method using the suttas. It will be easier. But here, we have a 4 Magga Chetas, 2 functions. One, eradicate factors or defilements. Another one, it attenuate, it make lesser grosser defilements or grosser factors. So here, each path Cheta eradicate or permanently attenuate grosser defilements. One by one, grosser defilements. So later we'll talk about it in detail. Sotapaddi Magga Cheta remove how many factors or how many defilements. Four fruition chetas or Falacheta function experiencing the fruit of 4 path. It experiences the fruit of 4 path. For that reason, we call it fruition chetas or Falacheta. Actually, normally fla means the fruit. When you grow a tree, you will get the fruit. Growing the tree is called Magga. Having the fruit on the tree, then you have a Phala. According to Abhidhamma, here I use the one according to Abhidhamma. Magga Chetas are like a pouring the first bucket of water on the fire. Then you bring the first bucket of the water and pour on the water. The water pour off. And Phala Chetas are like pour in the second packet of water on the fire. Then you bring another packet of water, then you pour on it. So the second packet of water entails coolness in the mind. So the Magacheta were destroying defilements. Then Phalacheta trying to destroy that defilement again, according to Abhidhamma. But only the moment of Phalacheta you will experience coolness in your mind. Each Magacheta arises only once, according to Abhidhamma. Here I will also use the one according to Abhidhamma. Each Magacheta arises only once and endure only one mind movement. Suppose Sotapatti Magacheta arises, only one mind movement. During that one mind movement, it will destroy respective factors of defilements once and for all. Actually, the commentary mentioned Magachetas are just like a diamond weapon. So we can compare with a nuclear weapon. If you use nuclear weapon to destroy a mountains, just using only one nuclear bomb, the mountain will be destroyed. Just like that. So as soon as you attain Sotapatti Magacheta, respective factors and defilement will be destroyed once and for all. It endures only one mind movement. According to Abhidhamma, it is never repeated in the mental continuum of the person who attains it. Sotapatti Magacheta will not arise again, or Sakadagami, Anagami, Arhata. So all these Magacheta arises only once. It will endure only one mind movement. Actually, one mind movement with three set mind movement. Arises, live for a while, then disappear. Only very short, very short. Even we cannot compare with a minute. The corresponding Phalacheta initially arises immediately after the path moment. That means Magacheta arises immediately after that and endure for 2 or 3 mind movements. One Magacheta will arise and right away, and 2 or 3 Phalacheta will arise. For intelligent people, 3 Phalachetas. For lesser, lower level of intelligent people, then 2 mind movement, 2 Phalachetas. So initially, as soon as Magacheta arises, right away, only after that, right away, then 2 or 3 Phalacheta will arise, according to the level of intelligence of the person. So for that reason, actually the commentary already mentioned that. So we have a 6 quality of the Dhamma. Among them, will be one quality. It's called akaliko, timeless. So referring to the rising of Phalachetas, akalika, timeless, right away, immediate. So immediately after Magacheta, Phalacheta will arise. There's no time in between. So the commentary normally refer to that, akaliko, timeless, or immediate. So the result is immediate. So when we do dana, when we keep precept, so they are not timeless according to commentary. They are not immediate. So it will take for 1 day, 1 month, 1 year, or the whole life, or even next life. They are not akaliko. They are not immediate. But regarding with the Phalacheta, they are immediate according to commentary, according to Abhidhamma. Subsequently, it can be repeated. It can be repeated here after arising after Magachetas, only 2 or 3 times. But later time, it can be repeated many times. And with the practice, it can be made to endure for many mind movements. We call it in fruition attainment. Fruition attainment. Phalasamapati. Fruition attainment. Suppose when you want to experience Phalachetas for 1 hour, so it will be series of Phalachetas only. There's no other chetas. When you want to stay 1 day, the fruition attainment, so all your mental activity will be series of Phalachetas. So it is called fruition attainment. So as a Sotapanna, any level of noble individual, they can experience fruition attainment. So they can stay 2 hours, 3 hours, 1 day, even 7 days. They can stay, with the Phalachetas. It's called fruition attainment. Okay, any question up to now? Any question up to now? Then I hope you understand. If you do not understand, you can ask question, or even you can say, I do not understand. Okay, so I hope you understand. Basically, we have 2 types of Lokottara Chetas. Magga is the path. If someone is on the path, it's called Magga Chetas. So Magga Cheta will destroy defilements in our mind. And immediately after Magga Chetas, 2 or 3 mind movement, Phalacheta mind movement will arise. So they also will destroy the game. So according to commentaries, the moment you attain Phalachetas, you experience coolness in your mind, because defilements make you very hot in your mind. So when you can put off all the defilements in your mind, then cool in your mind. That is because of Phalacheta. Okay.
Bhante, what is the difference to the Sotapanna who has intelligence that the Pala consciousness 3 times, 3 mind moment, and compared to the 2 mind moment only, less intelligence? What is the difference, quality of the Sotapanna, Bhante?
The quality is actually we have different level of intelligence. Some are too intelligent, some are not very intelligent. Even though they attain Sotapatti Magga, even though they attain Sotapatti Phala, so those who are too intelligent, so they will have 3 Phalachetas after Magga Cheta. And those who are less intelligent, only 2 Phalachetas, 2 mind movement. So the commentary mention only based on the intelligence.
And there is no features of this person, Bhante. Like people attain jhana, there is a with low power and medium power and high power. And Sotapanna, they don't. The commentary didn't mention the feature and what is the consequences to the persons.
The feature is just based on the intelligence. Intelligence, yeah. Of course, we have a different type of Sotapanna. So I will talk to it later. So we have a 3 type of Sotapanna.
Okay, Bhante, thank you.
Teacher Lily.
Good evening, Bhante.
Yeah, good evening.
3 questions here.
Okay.
First one is, does it mean that a stream enterer still could retain liberation of mind only during jhana? Repeat the question. Does it mean that a stream enterer still could retain liberation of mind only during jhana?
No, don't mix that with the jhana, because this is not a jhana. This is the Magga and Phala. So the one who attained the first Sotapaddi Magga, and he will destroy, he will kill irrespective defilements in his mind. So actually his Nibbana is not complete Nibbana. It is only, I would say that to make it very simple, only 25%. Only 25%. So someone who attained Sakadagami Magga, 50%, Anagami, 75%, and only someone became Arahant. So complete Nibbana. So that means 100%, 100%. So here, jhana here is samatha. Jhana is concentration of the mind. At that moment, one will attain the bliss of jhana, the bliss of concentration. But here, so someone who destroyed all type of, as the Arahant, I will give it with the example, as the Arahant, he already removed all type of defilements in his mind. Anywhere, any moment, any time, any circumstances, he no longer have a happiness in his mind, a happiness in his mind. So that is, we call it unconditioned, no condition. What type of food, what type of people he meet, or wherever or whenever. So he no longer have any happiness in his mind. But as a Sotapanna, he will still have a happiness in his mind, because he still need to remove some of the defilements in his mind. Only Arahant, So his happiness will be 100%. So jhana level, when you attain jhana, you are concentrated on one meditation object. When you have that concentration, you will have a bliss, or you will have a happiness in your mind. But that happiness is subject to change because of the noises, or because of the food that you eat, because of your health. If you are not healthy, then you will fall from jhana. So only the moment you attain jhana, then you will experience the bliss or happiness. So here is the Magga and Phala, unconditioned happiness. So that is different.
Second question is it all the 4 mega citta happen only once for everyone and cannot be repeated, but Phala citta can be repeated?
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Yeah. So Phala can be, actually I will give you in the note.
Third question, for a stream enterer, will the consciousness of lower planes still arise in him?
Lower plane.
For a stream enterer, will the consciousness of lower planes still arise in him?
Actually, when somebody became stream enterer, he will not respond. He will not have he will not have a rebirth in the lower existences. So at least he will come back to the human realm, 6th heavenly realm, or he will go to higher realm as a Brahma. So later part I will talk to that.
Next question. Why need to mention 4 pairs, 8 types? Effectively, there are only 4 types of Pala Arya, as there is no intermittent 4 types of Magga Arya.
Okay, actually, this is many people ask question this very often. I will talk about it in below because people think that we have 8 individuals because one is the one who is on the path to stream entry. So that means according to Abhidhamma, it lasts only 1 mind moment, very quick. So actually the question is right. Why we need to mention 8? Only 4. But I will answer using 1 sodas. No, not using 1, 10 sodas. Using 10 sodas, I will explain that one.
Last questions, Bhante.
Okay.
For this Magga and Pala, practicing of this Magga or attending this Magga and Pala in Abhidhamma and Dhamma, in Sutta, any difference?
Yeah, any different. I will talk about it. Same question.
Thank you, Bhante.
Okay. So all these questions will be clear when I talk on coding the sodas. Maybe today I started, we late about 8 minutes because of the technical problem. Maybe I will take another, I will try to finish the lessons. Maybe it will exceed 9 o'clock. I hope you understand because sorry that because of the technical problem, we late a little bit. So now we'll talk about in detail who is Sotapanna. Actually, many people want to know this topic. So I was requested by many students that now is the right time to talk. Who is Sotapanna? The word Sotapanna is divided into 2 words, Sota and Apana. Sota means the stream. Normally, popularly, it means the stream. And we also have another definition. It's called water current of the river. In the river, there's water current flowing. 2 meaning. Apana means enter. The one who enter the stream. The one who go to streams. Another one is the one who enter the water current of the river. So the water current is flowing and the person reach on the water current. For that reason, we call it enterer. Sometimes some people translate as a winner, stream winner. Actually, for me, I prefer enterer, the one who enter the stream, or the one who enter on the water current, arrive on the water current of the river. So actually, we will quote one soda from Sutta Nikaya. Sutta Nikaya, we have Sotapanna Sanyota, Sotapatti Sanyota, chapter 55, chapter 55. Those who want to know about Sotapanna, you can go and read chapter 55, Sutta Nikaya. All the sotas will be devoted to explain Sotapanna. So in this sutta, then I will quote one sutta. It's called Dutiya Sariputta Sutta. And the Buddha is talking to Venerable Sariputta. Sariputta. So this is set. Stream intera is stream intera. People say stream intera, stream intera. What now, Sariputta, is stream intera? Who is Sotapanna? The Buddha question to Venerable Sariputta. And Venerable Sariputta answer, one who possesses this Noble Eightfold Path. Venerable Sai is called a stream enterer. This Venerable One is such a name and such a clan. So actually, I forgot to quote another sentence, another phrase. The Buddha is asking to Venerable Sariputta, what is stream? What is stream? So here we are using the stream, right? Stream. So what is the stream here? It is the Noble Eightfold Path. The stream or the water current or the river me, the Noble Eightfold Path. So with a right view, right concentration, etc. The Noble Eightfold Path. So who is Sotapanna or stream enterer? And Venerable Sariputta said that the one who possesses the Noble Eightfold Path. That means when you possess the Noble Eightfold Path, you enter the stream. A very beautiful explanation, very clear. When you are on the path, so that means the path here means the Noble Eightfold Path. You can be called as stream enterer. But here, Sotapanna will not come back. He is staying on the stream, Normally, of course, we practice the Noble Eightfold Path for some time, but most of the time we are not practicing. You know? Sometimes we go to that stream, but we do not stay there. But as a Sotapanna, as soon as he attained Sotapanna, he attained the fruit of stream entry. The moment he attained Sotapanna, he will all the time practice the Noble Eightfold Path. He will not come back. So we can give example of the Sotapanna will stay in the stream, on the water current of the river. So for that reason, the water current will flow up to ocean. So the water in the river will flow in the ocean. So here, the ocean represents Nibbana. It's someone who is staying on the path, in the Noble Eightfold Path, will attain Nibbana. Normally, for normal people like us, we practice the Noble Eightfold Path sometime, then most of the time we're not practicing. So that means we go to the stream sometime, then we come back. Because we have a lot of attachment, a lot of attachment to people, to family, to things. So because of that, we cannot stay on the stream, on the water current. So we cannot go to the Nibbana. We cannot go to ocean. Very beautiful simile. Then I will quote another Tan Sutta. Who is Sotapanna? So this is a very beautiful. So this is a beautiful suttas, and also it tells us the difference between Abhidhamma and suttas. So we have in Samyutta Nikaya, chapter 25, Organika Sanyutta. So we have 10 suttas. So all the 10 suttas talk about Sotapanna, and also his practice, and how to attain Sotapanna, how to become Sotapanna. Those who want to become Sotapanna, you need to follow this practice according to Okanda Sanyutta. Okanda here means entering the stream. So there is a stream that goes to ocean. So ocean represents Nibbana. So here, Okanda here means entering to the stream, entering to the water current or the river. So when you are staying on the stream, then you will go to, eventually you will arrive Nibbana. You will arrive ocean. So to become Sotapanna, you need to follow this sutta. Okay, so there are 10 suttas which are similar. So here, the Buddha said that 6 internal bases. That's number 1 sutta. 6 internal bases. Form that we see, the sounds that we hear, smell, food, tangible object, and mental object. So these are 6 internal bases. Okay, number 1 sutta. Number 2 sutta is 6 internal bases. Eye, ear, nose, the tongue, the body, and the mind. So these are 6 internal bases. And number 3 sutta is it talk about consciousness. Then after that, I hope you still remember in one chart that I taught. We give eye. This is the internal one. Something to see, external one, external one. Because of the medium of 2, consciousness will arise, right? Consciousness will arise. Then the medium of the 3 is called contact. Because of contact, feeling will arise. Based on feeling, you have a perception. Then you have a volition or mental activities. Your mind will make a lot of effort to do, a lot of reaction. Sometimes anger, sometimes compassion, etc. Then you will craving. So these are the mental process. Then 6 internal bases, the first one sutta. 6 internal bases, second, consciousness, number 3, and contact, number 4, feeling, number 5, perception, number 6, volition, 7, craving, 8, 4 great elements. So there will be mental formation, mental activities, 4 great elements. Then number 9, number 10, 5 aggregates. So there are 10 suttas that talk about the path to become Sotapanna. Okay, so these are 10. So here, so at the ending part, it said that 6 internal bases are impermanent. Here, impermanent in nature. They are changing with Abhidhamma and becoming otherwise. Inyatapavi. This is called non-self, becoming otherwise. We want to become like this, they will not become the way we want. It will become otherwise. So here, even though the Buddha mentioned 10 suttas, but so we have to use each sutta in such a way. So suppose we will take the last one, 5 aggregate. When we talk about 5 aggregate, inept. 5 aggregate are impermanent in nature, changing, more than changing, with Abhidhamma, and becoming otherwise. So that means when you practice insight meditation with the help of samatha or jhana, then you will begin to understand 5 aggregate are impermanent in nature. They are changing, and becoming otherwise. Actually, it talk about nature to anatta. 5 aggregate are impermanent, changing and becoming otherwise. Okay, so this is the way to practice. It talk about the insight meditation. So vipassana supported by samatha, then you see 5 aggregate are impermanent, changing and becoming otherwise. Then mention that one who places faith in these teachings and resolve on them that's here me, they are impermanent. So they are changing, they are becoming otherwise. Resolve on them this is called a faith follower, Sattanusari. So actually because of the faith, because he himself realized 5 aggregate are impermanent, changing and becoming otherwise. He have a strong faith. Because he realized himself, So based on his faith and belief, so such person is called faith follower. One person, no? So we have a two type of the passing, two people who is two type of people who is on the path to stream entry. So the first one is faith follower. One who has entered the fixed course of rightness. That means he's fixed. He has entered the stream. Enter the plane of superior passing. Enter the plane of superior passing. Sapurisa Bhumi. So that means he became noble passing. So now we are talking about the first noble individual, the passing who has entered on the path to the realization of the fruit of stream entry. We are talking about the first noble individual, faith follower. Transcended the plane of worldlings. Actually, I think we may not have much time to. Actually, this is very deep and also very good to know. I think we have a limited time. I think I better stop here. I think because if I explain right now, and you may not be able to time check. Also, so it's talk about the difference between Abhidhamma and Sutta Pitaka. So I think better continue next week. If I talk right now, it will be very rash. Not good for you, and also not good for me. Maybe I will let other people, those who don't want, 9 o'clock, you can leave. Those who want to continue, you can stay back. Another 50 minutes will be discussion. Okay, so forget about this soda, tan soda. So I will come back to those tan soda next week because this is the important one. You need to understand. Okay, any question? Discussion time.
Just to clarify, the last 3 conditions of becoming a Sotapanna. So the first one, it says, one who places faith in these teachings is therefore called a faith follower. The other one you have is the one who has a fixed course of righteousness. And the third one is one who has transcended the plane of the worldlings. Are these 3 conditions of being a Sotapanna, or anyone is considered a Sotapanna?
May I explain next week? Because maybe for those who went, I think it will be nice to explain with the sodas. So I will come back to the soda next week.
Okay. So
I will explain it. I will explain it.
Okay.
So every usage in that sodas are very important.
Okay, so the suggestion is maybe we should go and read the Dutiya Sariputta Sutta and this Okanta Samyutta Sutta. We go and read first, and then maybe we'll have a clearer understanding of what a Sotapanna is. Is that what you mean?
Then I want to recommend two books. This is a how to say? You see the book?
Beyond Mindfulness. Okay,
Beyond Mindfulness. Why?
Okay.
Beyond Mindfulness in plain English by Bhante Gunaratana. So next week I will talk about Organika Sanyoga and also the difference between the explanation of Suttas and Abhidhamma regarding with 8 individuals. And also, of course, it is good to read Organika Sanyoga before I explain. And also, I want to recommend 2 books, Beyond Mindfulness in plain English by Bhante Gunaratana. So Bhante G. Gunaratana is a very famous meditation master. So one of his masterpiece is a meditation, mindfulness in plain English.
Okay.
So mindfulness in plain English is very the most famous meditation book, and this is a Beyond Mindfulness in plain English. So in this book, so you can go to page number. Actually, you can find out that talk about Sotapanna, Sakadagami, and Nagami, etc. In this book. And it is available in PDF form. Another one is called The Buddha and Buddhist Path to Awakening. Buddhist Path to Awakening by Rupa Katin. So Rupa Katin is the president of Palita Society, well-respected Buddhist scholars. So he also write about the difference between how to say the explanation in Abhidhamma and Sutta Pitaka. So these are the recommended book. But don't worry, next week I will explain in detail.
Because there are certain parts, like you're going a bit fast, like the 8 noble individuals, 4 noble individuals. You actually is a bit fast, so it takes a while to digest, what is being said. Okay.
Oh, that one is a.
I find it very hard to digest because it's like.
I understand. Yeah, I understand. Actually, as a Buddhist, we should know we have 8 individuals, 8 noble individuals. Ariya Pogala.
So when you talk about 4 pairs of noble individuals, will be one who is
1 and 2. 1, 2 is 1 pair.
Oh, so that means one that is upon the path and one who has reached the fruit of it.
You're right.
That's what you mean, right?
Yeah, in Lokottara Chaita, we will have a Sotapaddi Magga Chaita, the first one.
Okay.
And second one is Sotapaddi Phala Chaita.
Okay, so one is on the path and one who has already entered it.
Yeah.
Okay. So the same for the other three pairs.
3 and 4. 3 and 4 are 1 pair.
Okay. I will refer to your notes later on when you put them up. Then I will have a clearer picture.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Normally we are always chanting.
Right.
Chattari Riya Pogala. Actually in the how to say, we have a 9 attributes of the Sangha. Tatari,
let me see.
I forgot.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
always chanting the quality of the 9. Actually, Atta Pokala, Atta Ariya, Atta Purisa Pokala.
Okay, all right. I will refer to your notes later on. Now that I know, okay, one is on the path, and then one who has attained it, the fruition of it. Okay, okay, got it. Thank you.
Saku.
Bhante, regarding Akaliko, I would like to ask about Sahajata Kama, Bhante. It also gives the fruit right away, Bhante.
According to Abhidhamma, yeah.
The Sahajata Kama. This is the Sahajata Kama is the result of the first.
Sorry.
Sahajata Kama.
Or Sahajata.
Yes.
You're talking about Patana?
I mean, Sahajata Kama means the result of our actions right away bearing the fruit, Bhante. Is it correct or not, Bhante, the understanding? Sahajata Kama.
Sahajata. Data Dhamma. Maybe you're referring to Data Dhamma?
What I know is when we do action, like we do the dana, when the time we are doing the dhamma, we also receive the impulse, the jawana, right away when we are doing this is called Sahajata Kama. So it means there is no time. When we do the action, right away we bear the result of our action.
So what you are talking is according to the suttas, according to, of course, yes, according to sutta, but
yeah.
According to commentary, normally
I want to relate the path and fruition, Bhante.
Okay.
So Akaliko, there is timeless, and right away the path and followed by the fruition's consciousness.
Okay.
Is it also called Sahajata Kama, Bhante?
Sorry, I do not understand. I do not know what you are talking. Maybe I need to know your Pali. Maybe how to spell it?
The Sahajata.
Yeah.
Sahajata.
Sahajata. Okay. Sahajata.
Sahajata Kama.
GA, right?
Yeah.
No, actually what you are referring to is Sahagata. Sahagata Kama. G, right? GA, right?
GA.
Actually, it's in Pali we should pronounce as a Sahagata. Sahagata Kama. Yeah, you're right. Sahagata is that accompany. Sahagata is that arise together.
Yeah, rise together.
Yeah. Sahagata Kama. Yeah, actually we can compare. We can interpret in such a way. Akaliko. So when you are doing good things, we experience good feeling right away. At the same time, we can call it Akaliko. But commentary, when they are explaining Akaliko, so they normally use the example of Magga and Phalaccheda.
Okay.
So after Magga right away, immediately Phalaccheda will arise.
So more or less in the commentary, Akaliko terms is specially used for Magga, Pala, Citta, Bhante.
Need to check again because they give example.
Okay.
I think we can also use for Sahagata Kama.
Okay.
Because it's immediate.
Yeah.
Actually, normally the Buddha use the word data dhamma that can experience in this life right away. So even Nibbana, when the Buddha is talking about Nibbana, the Buddha used the word Abhidhamma, that can be experienced right away. Suppose if we do not have negative mental state in our mind, then we can right away experience a good feeling. Okay. So
thank you, Bhante.
we'll give teacher Lily.
Bhante, I think you only can have time for one question, right?
Okay, only one time. Okay. Only one question.
This question is asked. I would like to ask about different kinds of Sotapanna. There is one person called Chula Sotapanna. What does it mean? C-U-L-A, Chula.
Oh, we'll talk about next week. Chula Sotapanna.
Okay.
I will talk about it next week.
Thank you, Bhante.
Another question? Another question? One more question?
All right. Does a Sotapanna needs to attain any jhana?
Then two kind. When most of the Sotapanna may come from attaining jhana, then they practice insight meditation using jhana factor, then becoming Sotapanna. Some Sotapanna may not have any jhana. So just practice insight meditation, then become Sotapanna. It can be two types. Some without jhana, some with the jhana. So actually we will talk about it. I will talk about it when we are talking about how to say broader classification of Lokuttara Chaitanya. I will talk about it. I will touch on that.
Thank you, Bhante.
Okay, so time is up. So I think for who is Sotapanna, we will talk about it next week. Okay. Teacher Lily, can you lead?
Sure. Yo vada tang avaro manu Jesu Sakya muni bhagava kata gicho paragato bala viriya samangi tam sugatam saranatam upemi ragavi ragamane jama sukam dhamma sankatama patikulam madhura mimampa runam suvivatam Dhamma vimam sara natamupemi Ata jadi nama mahu Jatu suci supuri sayogesu Ata pugala dhamma dasate Sanggami mam saranatamupemi.
Sadhu.
Thank
Good night,
you.
everyone.
Good night, Bhante.